Man in Gray here with another Man in Gray book review. Today's book is The Adirondack Chair, a celebration of a summer classic by Daniel Mack, published in 2008 by Stuart Tabori and Chang, and it's 128 pages. The Adirondack Chair, if you're not familiar with these, is a outdoor kind of patio lounging chair. Traditionally, it's made out of wood. Some of the more recent models are plastic, but traditionally it's made out of wood and has a very distinctive style to it. It's made out of slats of wood, and the front, as you can see in the picture, the front of the seat is higher, considerably higher than the back. So it's like about a 35, 40-degree angle there. So when you sit in it, you automatically lean back. And you can also see that on the back here. It often has slats. The original design was just solid board here, but the more updated design had slats of wood here. And it was a chair designed for you to kind of sunbathe and lounge around in the outdoors. The Adirondack refers to the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York. The guy who's credited with inventing the Adirondack chair was a guy named Thomas Lee, who built the first Adirondack chairs about 120 years ago. So it's been around for a while. There are a number of chairs, as the opening chapter tells, or the second chapter, I think, tells. There's a number of proto-Adirondack chairs that were around going all the way back to the mid-19th century, 1860s or so. So there were other chairs similar to this. But Lee came up with the standard Adirondack chair that we have now. So again, Adirondack Mountains, upstate New York. The reason the chair kind of got associated with that degree, there's two reasons. One is they were first widely used in tuberculosis hospitals in upstate New York, or what they used to call sanitariums. These were hospitals, since tuberculosis was so contagious, a lot of tubercular people were segregated into a separate hospital. And before tuberculosis was a curable disease, it's easily cured now. Well, not easily, but it is curable with doses of antibiotics. Of course, they didn't have antibiotics back in the early 20th century. And so the idea was to put them in hospitals and let them get as much air as possible into their lungs. And so the advantage of this chair, if you had tuberculosis, you're leaning back like this, and the armrests are pretty far apart, so you're kind of sitting like this. And the idea was that would open up your chest and allow more air to get in and help people that had lung damage from tuberculosis infections. And other people decided, well, hey, this would be a good chair to sunbathe and lounge in. And there were a number of resorts in the Adirondack Mountains from the 1920s or so until around the 1980s. A lot of New Yorkers would go up to these resorts during the summer to get away from the heat of New York City, up into the mountains, and they would have entertainment. They'd have comedians and music groups and so forth playing in these hotels and resorts. And they often had these chairs outside on patios or out on the lawn for people to get some sun and kind of relax a little bit and try to get away from the heat. And so the chairs became associated with that. Now, these chairs are quite heavy because they're made out of these big, dense boards. And so they were usually just left outside year-round. And, if the paint started to peel, you just scrape it off and put another layer of paint on there to keep the wood from rotting. But they were very popular chairs. And then they kind of caught on from the East Coast, spread throughout the United States, and then indeed all over the world. There's a whole bunch of photographs in this book, and a lot of them are from places all over the world. So this chair kind of caught on in a lot of other places. One of the big advantages of this, if you're a woodworker, is these chairs are pretty easy to build. Chairs are among the most difficult woodworking projects to do because they require a lot of precision. Some chairs have many parts to them. They're quite complicated. This is a pretty simple design. So even if you're a beginning woodworker and you don't have a lot of equipment or technical skills, you can build one of these. And one of the fun things about this book is in the book, they actually have, I'll show it to you here, they have a set of plans, if you can see this, a set of plans for building the book, your own Adirondack chair. There's the slats for it, and here's the basic design, and then there's a step-by-step set of instructions. So, if you're a beginning woodworker and you want to do a little more ambitious project than just a bookshelf or something, you could build one of these chairs for yourself. And the last chapter has a bunch of modern variations. There have been many people that have redesigned it, changed it a little bit, but the basic design is still this design you see here on the cover. So this book basically tells a little bit about the history. It also has another nice thing about it. There's little stories, little anecdotes in here from time to time about people's experiences with these chairs when they were kids. A lot of the adults now were kids that were taken to these resorts in the Adirondack Mountains during the 50s or early 60s, and they talk about their experiences with these chairs and what they meant to them, and how they kind of symbolized the summer and freedom and being away from school and so forth. So it was kind of fun. So this is a book for people that basically are woodworking people, or if you're interested in the history of chairs. There are some people that actually like the history of chairs. It's a really interesting book. A lot of photographs in here. Some pages have 2 and 3 photographs. There's a lot in color. It basically tells you anything you would ever want to know about Adirondack chairs. The book is The Adirondack Chair. The author is Daniel Mack. This has been another Man in Gray book review. Thanks for watching.